Hello everyone and welcome. My name is John and this is ICOfavorites.com with another review. Today we're going to talk about the Trade.io, a financial framework based on the blockchain technology. Trade.io is a secure and transparent financial trading institution that is undergoing an ICO to secure their investment. So, what are we going to talk about today? We're going to show you what is Trade.io, the Trade.io features, the Crowdsale description as always, how is Trade.io going to use their proceedings, the several revenue streams that the Trade.io platform announces, all the opportunities that you have by investing on this ICO, and of course more information and wrap up and some opinions by me. So let's get straight into it. What is Trade.io? Well, Trade.io is a decentralized financial investment platform. It uses a trade token, which is a utility token that enables frictionless transactions of a wide range of assets. We're going to talk about that later on the Trade.io exchange. This also happens while acting as a medium of exchange and store of value. So what you can do is use this trade token that the Trade.io announces to participate in the shared liquidity pool, charge the liquidity pool with fresh assets, and receive daily payouts of your trade via your wallet with fiat or cryptocurrency. Through the investment on the banking activity that the firm will aim to do once offered and once authorized, it will be a means to assist companies to get tokenized and listed through the Trade.io platform, and thus incurring in transaction and placement fees. Trade tokens will essentially become a cryptocurrency with the real-world value, as participating companies will have to lock real-world assets to, in order to receive trade tokens in exchange. So this is going to be basically, like I said, a crowd-powered peer-to-peer liquidity pool. And you can invest on that liquidity pool, use a lot of your knowledge in order to load it with fresh assets and then get all the revenue you can get. From what I read, in the future, token holders may also be able to use the trade tokens to purchase new issues of IPOs and ICOs on the Trade.io exchange, and that is quite interesting. Now, getting a little bit more into the blockchain details, I want to give you a bit of the background on the grounds that this Trade.io is being built upon. It has been known that the financial industry has been stagnant for more than 2 decades, with the centralized establishment having taken over full control. And when all authority is concentrated, exploitation is bound to ensue. Blockchain technology changes all of that for the first time due to its decentralized, incorruptible nature. Control isn't handed over to a single identity, or entity, let's say, organization or government, but rather is shared among all its network users. Thus, transparency may be achieved at last. This means that there's no centralized bank, let's say, or no centralized institution. This is basically the blockchain technology being spread out to all fields of a economy, and this is the time for it to reach the financial markets. So like I said before, this blockchain technology enables this decentralization, and this allows for less mediation, more transparency, and more security. So the trade token is very important in Trade.io. It will provide a new groundbreaking way for foreign exchange trading that will do away with the unjust current status quo. Taking advantage of the pioneering blockchain technology, the platform provides unprecedented levels of disintermediation, transparency, and security. upon which to build the next generation trading platform. A lot of these solutions that we've been presenting in ICO reviews, well, they have a lot of room ahead of them. And this is yet another, because this technology is very new and enables a total game-changing action. This token enables you to make solid investments independently of the market fluctuations on a daily basis, and this is the most interesting part of the Trade.io suite. The provision of the liquidity pool makes for unprecedented gains no matter if you win or lose whilst you trade. The platform provides its participant members for the first time the chance to have a share in its profits, with 50% of those being paid back to them on a daily basis. So in essence, both the traders as well as the platform share the same interests and goals, making up for a more fair place to conduct business. The assurance of the trade token, agreed by the platform Trade.io, will provide the possibility of trade within the boundaries of a fully transparent, fair, and regulated platform, featuring professional and knowledgeable, experienced team behind it. The team behind Trade.io is made up of, from what I was able to read, quite accomplished managers and advisors from several different areas of financial technology, investment banking, blockchain, and trading. They've been committed early adopters of the Trade.io platform, and they have been working with acclaimed players like Forex industries, Forex industries such as FX Primus and Primus Capital Markets UK. So they have a lot of background and a lot of portfolio to support that background of traders eager to switch to the Trade.io platform. Blockchain technology will take care of the rest. Talking about the targets of these guys, well, Trade is very explicit and ambitious when it comes to targets. Here's what they're announcing for the coming years of operation. They want to they want to become the exchange for traditional companies to raise funds from crypto communities. They want to become a cost-effective platform to facilitate investment banking services with reduced advisory expenses. And they want to reach the top 5 crypto assets based on market capitalization. They aim to meet strong regulatory requirements, which is very important in such a new industry. While it does embrace the true open nature of blockchain, it recognizes the need to comply with strong AML and KYC regulatory requirements. Well, this applies to the customer's acceptance and onboarding, as well as handling clients' funds. Trade.io is working closely with its legal advisors to apply for the FINMA license that should be coming soon. Giving you a little bit more of insight on the background, well, this appears a very strong and complete financial product, especially given the fact that it's basically the first player in the market. Well, actually, it can serve as a global financial framework in the future. So with that in mind, it is important to talk about the background of financial and banking systems. With many markets, including the US, at an all-time high, it's easy to forget about 2008. As many people know, in 2008, markets weren't performing well and global economies were booming until the world economy almost collapsed. The root cause wasn't just reckless lending and lack of transparency, but in my opinion, rather the financial sector failure to keep up with innovation. Let's fast forward to today, where global markets are again at an all-time high and everything appears to be wonderful, but we must now ask ourselves whether the underlying causes that almost brought global markets to their knees just 9 years ago are in fact a thing of the past, or if banks are becoming bigger and more opaque than ever before. That's quite dangerous, if you want my opinion. Is training and reporting still lacking the necessary transparency? On the top, lack of transparency and seeming disregard for investors, a whole ecosystem of banks, advisors, markets, and record keepers are extracting enormous fees from both investors and companies. On top of the inefficiencies Created by high fees and low liquidity, existing trading platforms lack transparency, third-party verification, and often suffer from conflicts of interests. Given all this unfairness and inefficiency and disappointment caused by a lack of change, forward-thinking traders and brokers are looking for a solution that will disintermediate and commoditize today's status quo. But basically by using a revolutionary technology such as blockchain upon which to build the next generation platform for exchange trading. So what is the challenge for these guys? Well, blockchain technology with its transparency is the only way forward to a true honesty and fair trade within the world of financial trading. These guys are ahead of their game, being the first ones on the market. It does allow a decentralized exchange of digital data between its peers, featuring an incorruptible ledger recording all transactions. The process is fully transparent at all times, the transactions fully traceable, irreversible, and pretty much incorruptible. The network guarantees the validity and authenticity of each transaction, and fraudulent activity is discarded promptly via the consensus that the peer-to-peer ring enforces. There is no single point of failure, as the control of the entire network of or transactions isn't down to a single central entity, but rather by the entire network. Fixing, hiding, manipulating, and profiteering are impossible within a blockchain network. Everything is being taken into account by the distributed architecture. So all transactions are fully traceable back to their origins and at all times. So all network peers have access to their incorruptible ledger. What this means to Trade.io is, by using the innovative and trusted blockchain trading platform, it will democratize the markets and save money for investors and companies, reducing in some cases and eliminating also tremendous fees and inefficiencies traditionally associated with asset trading. What Trade.io needs to do is to become the next generation financial institution, providing the ultimate in security and transparency. By leveraging decades of experience in the investment banking, trading, and fintech sectors, and combining them with the power and transparency of the distributed ledger, Trade.io is on the verge of creating a truly unique product that will surely revolutionize the asset trading. As well as asset trading, the Trade.io platform exchange supports a more efficient and secure method of listing assets in the crypto economy, using the trusted record-keeping capabilities that only blockchain provides. This is also coupled with the Trade.io's investment banking and advisory expertise in the reassurance that comes with operating in a regulated environment, which is a big issue on the blockchain technology. Ultimately, Trade.io will be a trading and financing platform for more than just crypto assets. It will also offer forex and CFDs over precious metals, oil, commodities, indices, global equities, and just to name a few. Offering more than 120 products at its launch, Trade.io will have the capacity to trade any number of assets. Crowdsale Description. Well, the ICO Crowdsale has already taken place. It finished on the 4th of January and lasted a very short period. The ICO raised more than 31 million US dollars with more than 15,000 participants who participated from all corners of the earth. Here on your screen you can see the conversion rate. 1 Ethereum equals 1,000 trade tokens. This was all sold during the ICO that finished on the 4th of January. All the remaining unsold trade tokens were burned post-ICO. The crowdfunding tokens available before the ICO were 275 million tokens. And now I want to talk about the trade token and the crowd sale contracts. The contract uses token lib library and follows the standards exactly with one additional feature, a burn token function. This function facilitates the ability for any owner to reduce the total supply of trade tokens. Additionally, Trade.io has incorporated this ability to burn unsold crowd sale tokens. There is a known low-risk attack vector which affects the approved transfer from methods of all ERC tokens detailed. While the token lib contract contains an approval method that fixes this issue, it was not included in the trade token contract due to unnecessary complexity. Talking a little bit more about the regulatory requirements, traditional investing banking services such as advisory and fundraising focused on moving companies to blockchain platforms. Those have a wide variety of regulatory requirements. Trade.io has announced that trading on the platform exchange for institutional and individuals will require a lot of requirements of regulation as well. Trade.io wants to become fully compliant with required securities rules and regulations, compliance, KYC, and AML, long-term trusted operational track records in the securities industries. I'm going to talk about the Crowdsale contract, despite that the Crowdsale has finished already. A new ICO might start soon, being the previous one so successful, so this information might come in handy. The Crowdsale contract uses major direct Crowdsale lib. This library provides functions for the standard Crowdsale, in which users send Ethereum to the Crowdsale contract and then withdraw the tokens purchased. This requires a two-step process for participants. The two-step process is designed as a security consideration. Participants send Ethereum and the contract allocates their portion of the tokens into a bucket. Participants then request a withdrawal from the contract and it sends tokens out of their allocation. This provides a layer of security between all tokens in the contract and those allocated to each participant, and follows the security recommendations. The Crowdsale contract uses timestamps and not block numbers. This is very important to retain. This does not present any significant vulnerability. However, it should be noted that block miners have some control over the timestamp recorded in the block they mine. This may result in the Crowdsale ending a few seconds later than advertised. There is no minimum raise limit for the trade token Crowdsale. All funds are sent to the Crowdsale will be made available to Trade.io upon completion of the sale. The participants should note that there is a risk of loss if they send Ether from an exchange account. Exchanges do not offer the ability to interact with Crowdsales in general. A wallet should be established outside of any exchange, and Ether should be sent from that wallet to the Crowdsale contract. On your screen right now is a list of proceedings. This is how the Trade.io is planning to use the funding raised in the ICO. 20% for licenses, 23% for acquisitions and IPs, 7% for development, which I believe is a bit low, 20% for operations, 18% for liquidity pool, seed and venture fund, legal audits, and advisory with 3%. Now, the most important part, the revenue streams that you can invest in the Trade.io. First of all, we have spreads. All the trading instruments in any marketplace or platform will have a bid and ask price for spreads. The difference between these two prices are called the spread, of course. This is standard in all brokerage firms and both retail and institutional investors. 50% of the spreads, the price difference between bid and asking price on all transactions completed on Trade.io platform, will go into the liquidity pool so that every participant will have a share of its profits. Commission is another revenue stream. When spreads are very tight, there is little room for profit margins for the brokerage firm. While being advantageous to the client investor, most brokerages charge a commission on a per trade basis to make up the lack of revenue for the tight spreads. Therefore, 50% of all commission charges will go to the liquidity pool. Aggregation, yet another revenue stream on Trade.io. That means that Trade.io is able to combine many unmatched small orders into a large order before passing back into the liquidity pool. As a result, all of those transactions that couldn't be processed due to the inability to match will be collected and processed once pricing can be matched. This ensures that the value is being maximized on each and every transaction regardless of size and passed back into the liquidity pool. Risk positions, well, depending on the risk management strategy of the brokerage firm, hedging the overall trading risk of client positions is a major and profitable source of revenue for the company. Risk management is done using sophisticated proprietary algorithms and by leveraging the experience of risk managers who have been involved in markets for decades. Risk management is done on a macro level along with the granular level, thus maximizing the profit potential for the liquidity pool. One of the features of the Trade.io e-wallet will be to allow clients to take a loan utilizing the funds in their e-wallet as collateral. The creditors of these loans will be other clients who are interested in earning interest revenue from peer-to-peer lending program. Trade.io will earn a small fee as revenue for providing this service and facilitating the P2P lending. Half of this generated revenue will go into the liquidity pool as well. And of course, there's a revenue stream for transaction and placement fees. This is through the investment banking activity that the firm is participating in. There's no way to run away from it, which means assisting companies to get tokenized or listed on the Trade.io platform. So, opportunities for you guys. Well, holders of the trade tokens will have all the advantages of other cryptocurrencies with the benefits of the Trade.io exchange technology. Companies listed on the Trade.io will exchange and reach a global audience while at a substantially reduced initial and outgoing costs, while still accessing all the skills and experience of a traditional investment bank. Fair and transparent distribution of new issues based on price and demand, not backroom relationships, are also an opportunity to keep an eye on. Trade.io is trying to bridge the gap to legacy systems and institutions, so that will be an opportunity as well. One of the principal benefits to holders of the trade tokens that participate within the Trade.io ecosystem for trading, and arguably the most groundbreaking feature of the platform, is the opportunity they'll be given to contribute at a selected amount of the assets contained with their e-wallets to be shared, a P2P liquidity pool. Half of the profits or losses generated will be allocated or debited from the liquidity pool, with those subsequently allocated pro rata to the participants and paid out in fees on a daily basis. In other words, 50% of the daily revenue trade generates will be paid from the liquidity pool. After reaching the minimum 2,500 trade tokens held in the platform's wallet that grant participants access to the liquidity pool, each participant will be paid a daily reward proportional to the amount of to any accepted store of value. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, trade tokens are fiat currency that contributed to that pool. The liquidity pool will be offered to the participants once the required regulatory authorization will be obtained. The commotion created by Trade.io's groundbreaking technology hasn't been left unnoticed. Globally acclaimed players within the forex industry, such as FX Primus and Primus Capital Markets, have endorsed the project and have committed to incorporate the platform as soon as it is ready. Trade has expressed already its main targets regarding regulation. So this is it for our review of Trade.io. For more information, do visit Trade.io or reach out on our website ICOfavorites.com. This is all for me. I sincerely hope that you have learned from this review. More reviews at ICOfavorites.com. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.